So what do you do if you're developing that commercial spot right now? Well, you have to develop it at risk or choose to delay. Those are your two options.
That's what's freaking people out right
Yeah.
now, which is higher risk with the alternative of delay,
Yes.
and
And
both of which are costly.
understanding that you might have to rethink your campaign. That is a possible potential outcome. Maybe the linear TV component, won't be as viable, or maybe you're going to have to shift away from a full product promotion into a reminder ad on TV. Now, reminder ads are apparently not at all being targeted or affected. And reminder ads have always been permitted in broadcast television. Pharma, the Pharmaceutical Researchers and Manufacturers of America, the trade group that represents the industry, has a set of guidelines on DTC communications that discourages the use of reminder ads on broadcast television and radio, but that is not the same as an FDA prohibition, right? That is an industry trade group that is saying, we think you shouldn't do this. It's not a good thing, but that's not the same as saying it's illegal or it violates the regulations. And so, that is always that is, as we speak, apparently still an option. I almost said that's always going to be an option, but given the situation we live in, who knows whether it's always going to be an option
We
or
don't know.
not.
So even an ad devoid of overt claims, therefore not necessitating the mountain of fair balance, seems like a viable option, but that
As we
opens up
speak
a new
right now, it is a viable option.
Okay, so you're
And
saying it is.
as of right now, as we
As of
speak,
right
it
now,
is a viable
I
option.
say seems just because of this envelope of uncertainty that is
Well, that's
surrounding.
where we need clarity from the FDA.
Right,
We need them to
right.
say, here's what we're doing, here's what the proposal is going to be, here's what it's going to look like, as well as giving us some sense for timing. If they're planning on, releasing a draft regulation, you would not immediately bring yourself into compliance with the draft regulation. You don't do that. Why don't you do that? Well, you don't do that because the regulation is not currently in force. And
And it
so,
could change
and
again.
it's a change, and you need to comply with the existing regulations, not with the regulations that are not yet in force. And typically, you can't do both. So typically, you have to choose. Well, and the choice is always a no-brainer. You abide by the regulations that are currently in force, and the regulations that are currently in force have not yet changed. We have been told that there will be a change. When? I don't know. What will the change be? I don't know. Right? But something is coming, right? And this gets back to that point of separating out the tremendous amount of, Sturm und Drang, right? The sound and fury
Right.
around this announcement with what actually has happened.